Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brent McGrath, and I'm the host of Talks and Discussions, What Matters and What Doesn't Matter. And today we have a very special guest. His name is Bruno Chavez. How are you doing, Bruno?
I'm actually pretty good. Thank you for inviting me, Brent. It's nice to see you after how many years?
Well, at least over 10 years, I believe.
Over 10 years. You're actually looking the same.
Thank you very much. I kind of think I'm a little bit older, but that's okay. So in a nutshell, I'm just going to get into this and we'll see where it goes. But Bruno's story is a very interesting story for anybody who's out there struggling to get their business up and running and to get their dream going. Listen very carefully because this guy has a great story. So Bruno, in a nutshell, tell us about what it was like in the beginning.
Actually, in the beginning, when I met you, Brent, it was 10 years ago. I was an average employee and just graduated from college. I was a buyer at HP when I met you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to talk about Toastmasters at the end with you, but Toastmasters helped me to actually jump from one place to another. Mm-hmm. And my story begins actually working in the call center business, in the hotel industry. Mm-hmm. I've been running a call center for over 7 years, together with my brother. 7 years ago, we start giving service to two main hotels in sales, customer service, reservations. Mm-hmm. And I was very young when I started this office. Pretty young for me, but maybe not. Right now, there's a lot of people with big industry in their 20s. But I was 24 years old when I started working in the call center and the telemarketing industry. And I remember at the beginning it was hard. Why? Because in this telemarketing area, in the hotel area, sales, there's a lot of pressure. Yes. There's pressure to hit budgets. There's pressure to actually fulfill the hotels, the fulfillment expectations. Mm-hmm. Right. But at the end, it was experience. After 7 years working here, I gained a lot of experience handling pressure. I have a lot of experience in call centers, and it's been pretty fun right now. At that point, maybe we can tell you about my Tony Robbins experience. It was a life-changing experience. Mm-hmm. Just 1 year after I started working at the call center business, I went to this big event from Tony Robbins that actually changed my life. Okay. So that's called Unleash the Power Within, right? Unleash the Power Within, yeah. So how did that come about? Okay. How did that come about? I remember that at the beginning of at the age of the 24, I was having issues controlling my emotions. Why? Because basically for the pressure, maybe something that maybe happened to everybody, anxiety, mm-hmm. and actually my brother was the one who invited me to go to this big event of Tony Robbins. I was not very convinced.
Did he pay?
He paid because it's over $1,000 the cost of the ticket.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
And no, it was not cheap. But it actually worked. Then he invited me. Why? Because it was new for him also. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you have heard, but in this event is well known for the fire walking.
I've seen it, yes, on YouTube.
Yeah. And you actually walk on fire. So that was like the thing that actually we were planning to walk on fire, and obviously we see a lot of videos on YouTube. A lot of most of the coaches in United States or Mexico, they always say something about Tony Robbins, Buck Proctor, those guys. And okay, I went over there on October 2015.
Okay.
The event was at LA at the convention center. There were over, I don't want to exaggerate, but it's 5,000 to 10,000 people, maybe 5,000, 7,000. Yes. I don't have it right here with me, but the why is I was actually trying to have control of my emotions. That's something I've been reading about. I was reading about him having control over my emotions, my life actually.
Right. So you're having trouble controlling yourself in your life, or having trouble with your life, period.
Yeah, why? Because for me it was basically everything changed for me from having only one job to actually start handling like 30, 50 people. Yep. At the age of 24. It was difficult at the beginning, but it was actually something I think everybody needs to go at some point, because after this event you feel more motivated, you feel more happy. You actually it actually helps you to put to plan a project, finish your projects. And it actually worked for me at 5 years ago. Okay. And I'm actually speaking about telling my friends about this. Yes. And this is something I will recommend everybody. Actually right now, this weekend is the same event but online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is a 4-day event. Yeah. And we actually have a co-worker right now on the event, online event.
Oh, that's right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Foolproof way to go from zero to hero.
Okay. How? First of all, talking about the Tony Robbins event and how this actually worked for me, I remember 3 things that actually helped me to control my emotions, because this is something really important that I'm not talking about a business model. I'm not talking about, this could be any business. I mean, what actually can fit in every area. It's how to have control of your emotions.
Right.
I mean, if you are in a business that there's a lot of pressure, a lot of clients, a lot of people, you need to be very, very aware that if you don't control your emotions, it'll be really difficult to stay stable.
Right.
And let me tell you something about the course. The event is, there's 3 things that actually are really important.
Okay.
It's focus, language, and physiology. And why physiology? How do you notice someone is depressed, Brent? I mean, how are their shoulders? Yeah. Down. How is the head? Down. So first thing you need to change is your physiology. You need to change your shoulders up, right. Heads up, and the way you walk, the way you stare, the way you actually. I remember that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember at Toastmasters, we also practice like on the presentations how you move your hands and everything.
Yep, all your gestures and
your gestures. Yeah. And this is something like Tony Robbins always said, like, you need to change your physiology. And obviously you need to take care of your body. Right. Because your body tells a lot of your personality and what you eat, what you drink and everything. Right. And then language. Why language? Because obviously someone that is really negative will always say things that negatives in every way. Right. Yep. If there is a pandemic right now, negative person will only tell about the pandemic, about that the world is actually in chaos.
Yes.
I have many friends, even family, that they ask me like, "Hey, oh, you're in the hotel business, right? Oh,
Yeah.
so how's the pandemic going on? So sorry for you. Yeah, most likely it's you're doing really bad, right?" That's the way people, negative people, will have only negative things to do.
Right.
But then in this event, they actually mentioned that, why don't you say positive things, positive thoughts, uh, be very, 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 very aware of what comes out of your mouth. Why? Because that's actually another thing that defines you. I don't know, it's an example. I haven't seen you in 10 years. Imagine that just today you only heard like bad things like, no, the pandemia and everything is chaos right now.
We may not be doing this interview if you're negative.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
too negative.
Okay, that's the thing that you need to be surrounded by people that actually share your ideas, I mean, your goals. But this is language. It's actually be very aware of what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the third thing is focus. There's a this phrase that Tony Robbins always says, where focus goes, energy flows. So it's very basic. Like if you're I don't know if it happened to you, but sometimes you're focused on something bad that is gonna happen. Like I have this big event tomorrow, this presentation with Bruno at 1 p.m.
Yes.
But I'm afraid that I'll be late because of something. And that specific day, something is going to happen that you were gonna be late. Why? Because your focus was only on being late.
Right.
And that happens to many people. Like I'm not gonna finish, you're not gonna finish. I'm not gonna be on time, you're not gonna be on time, because that's where focus goes, energy flows. Something. Yeah. It's something like some people believe, some people don't believe on the law of attraction, but
yes,
for the ones that do believe on the law of attraction, it's actually is very related with the focus. Why? Because if I'm focused on finishing my project, I'm focused on hitting my budget, I'm focused on buying a house,
right,
having a car, make, I don't know, 2,000 pesos today on sales. Then these three things together, like having your physiology, your focus, your language, that's the key of success, to actually control your emotions. And let me tell you that someone that has the ability to control their emotions, I mean, it's someone that will get far. Why? Because obviously it's not only your emotions. You need to you need to study, you need to practice, you need to repeat. Repetition is something also that Tony Robbins talks a lot, like repetition. What is repetition is, if right now I'm starting to practice in golf.
Okay.
How am I gonna be better? I already took some classes, but practicing, repetition, doing this every time I can.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that you're gonna be better.
That's true. That's very true. So in the beginning, you mentioned a bit about Toastmasters, and I have to ask the question because we were both in Toastmasters at the time. So how did Toastmasters help with your success today?
Okay, I remember I started at Toastmasters. I was like 22 years old when I met you, maybe 21. I don't recall. I always have this I like to speak. I mean, as you can see, I like to speak, and but in 10 years ago, I used to speak my way.
Right.
Like I thought I was like doing the message right to in my university, in my job.
Yeah.
However, when I joined with you guys at Toastmasters, I noticed that I wasn't perfect. Why? Because I remember the feedback from the people that was at Toastmasters, like, don't say why, don't say so, Don't say, because it's something I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
doing it. But the feedback helped me a lot. Why? Because at the beginning I was like, why they say those negative things? But then I learned that by the people giving me feedback, and I learned from the feedback, I was going to be better, and also after Toastmasters helped me to actually like raise my hand to do the presentation, uh, ask for the word in maybe in some conference, like who wants to say something?
Yep.
And Toastmasters helps you to gain confidence,
Right.
and that's something I'll be very grateful for. Obviously, then my life changed, as I mentioned to you, with my work and everything.
Yeah.
And this is something I stopped doing it with Toastmasters. But it actually, I think, set up my standard of presentations. I'm still watching your videos, and obviously I noticed some things from Toastmasters that
Yes.
there's the introduction. I mean, I'm still doing it. I'm still actually giving this a small introduction in every meeting,
Yep.
and people is like, what? Like, like
Oh, yeah.
maybe if I'm gonna talk about budget from next year, I give some statistics like, do you know that we grow 14% this year? No? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Now you know.
My name is Bruno Chavez, and I'm going to present you my budget. Obviously, people is like, what is he doing? But I mean, sometimes it actually works for me.
Well, the idea of what you're doing is you're engaging, you're getting their attention right away,
Yeah.
right? And once you got their attention, you can hold it for as long as you want.
Exactly. I'm still doing this. I have my ball, and then I start like asking questions to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I ask people like, how was my what do you think about my presentation? And sometimes it's still like it is not affecting me, but sometimes affects you like, you're not that good. However, I feel good, and that's the that's the important thing, like feeling good, feeling confidence. Even right now, like having this interview is I'm actually feeling really good. Maybe when I watch this interview, I'm gonna see a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
However, it's not what you do, it's how you feel, it's how you transmit.
And the amazing thing is that you told me that you couldn't talk for more than 10 minutes. I'm pretty darn sure we're over the 10-minute mark by now.
Yeah. I mean,
So just to get back into the questions, you talk a lot about your language, your physiology, and your focus. But what philosophy of life do you live by now? Because I'm pretty sure way back when you had no philosophy, you had no passion, you had no drive. Now you do. So what's your philosophy? Pass that on to the rest of the people.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, maybe it's not a philosophy, but it's something that helped me a lot 5 years ago to understand the word emotion. The word emotion comes from motion, which means movement. This is something I learned in this event. Emotions are created by motion. So in order to change your emotions, there must be movement. What type of movement? I'm gonna ask you a simple thing. If you go to the doctor right now, what's the first thing the doctor is gonna tell you?
Well, I presume he's going to tell me to get off my butt and do something, because if I'm sitting behind my computer desk 16 hours a day now, he's going to tell me to move.
Do some exercise.
Yeah.
Have a 30-minute walk. Something like that will actually help your health. But also, when you are under stress,
Right.
when you feel anxious about something,
Uh-huh.
the best thing you can do is actually move. Is actually go to do some exercise, have a morning walk, run, or if you're so sedentary, just go somewhere else. If you're not feeling good right now, move to another place. Like there must be movement. There must be something that actually will change your behavior, will change your emotions.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure many people, when they feel stress or something, they go to run, and they will feel happy about it. Why? Because emotions are created by emotion.
Right.
So this is something I highly recommend to everybody. Like, don't stay on the same place, and it's not job related. It's just try to move, try to keep busy, try to
Right.
to move your body. It's something like you pay $1,000 for the event,
Yes.
and at the end, it's just simple things that change your life. There's a like a 3-hour part of the event
Mm-hmm.
where they only talk about what to eat and what not to eat. Just imagine why, because
Great.
there are actually some foods that is not good for you and for your health, for your emotions. Just imagine. I think this is something I will that's like my philosophy. It's just move, like try to be keep busy all the time,
Right.
and obviously have control of your emotions, because this already happened to me and to most of the people. Whenever you have a different project, whenever you have a different like challenge,
Mm-hmm.
there's always fear. There's always sometimes you lose money, sometimes you lose friends, sometimes you lose. I mean, also your family, because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't put attention to every area of your life, I mean, you will have troubles. But how can you control every area of your life? Control your thoughts, your emotions. That's basically what has been. I mean, there's a lot of value from that event on me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much today, or for coming today. I really enjoyed this because there's a lot of interesting things I've heard about Tony Robbins. I've seen on YouTube, and the guy goes crazy. But the thing is it's not really nice to see someone who's gone there and someone who's still applying what he learned, and actually you're still trying to pass it on to other people, because you know what you've learned, everybody else can learn too.
Exactly. And I mean, I highly recommend the event. I mean, I'm not promoting Tony Robbins, because I'm pretty sure many people will say, like, I mean, pay me $1,000 and I will tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the one that there's actually a time in your life that you will need some type of coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and if you feel like you have the intention to go, I highly recommend it. Right now, as I don't know if I mentioned it already, but he's having a course online right now.
Yeah.
Via Zoom. It's totally different from five years ago. However, I think in these times people need some type of coaching.
Yeah.
And thank you for inviting me. Thank you for this interview. It's been I'm really glad to see you after
All these years.
8-10 years.
Yes.
I mean, it's better not to count the years, right?
That's true. That's true.
And actually, maybe next time we can have a margarita in one of Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, Los Cabos.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay.